For Eric Resick, his job as an immigration attorney is an ongoing chess game.
I've seen a lot of my colleagues quit and say, I can't do this anymore.
One where he says the rules are constantly changing.
It keeps me up at night because I might be stressing out about something I missed.
And winning cases, he says, under the Trump administration has become more difficult.
The issue, I think, right now is that, and this is well reported on, is that the immigration judges are under pressure to deny cases. And if they don't deny cases at a rate that this administration approves of, they might be out of a job.
In 2025, DHS began calling for all immigrants detained to be held without bond as their cases move through immigration court, even those apprehended away from the border without criminal records, and some who've lived in the U.S. for years.
That creates this one-way track from being detained to being detained indefinitely while your case is pending that other administrations don't do.
In a statement to NBC News, a DHS spokesperson says adopting the correct legal position was the nail in the coffin for Biden's catch and release policies, adding President Trump and Secretary Mullen are now enforcing the law as it was actually written to keep America safe. The issue of no bond holds is currently being argued in federal circuit courts. Resick oversees an immigration law clinic at the University of North Dakota, created in part to help bring a new workforce to the state. According to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, North Dakota has just 47 workers for every 100 jobs.
Is there a shortage because people are scared?
Yes, there are a significant amount of people who have pending cases, who entered the United States lawfully and have work permits, who are not going outside of their homes to work because they are worried that they are going to be detained.
Detention is something that's a real possibility for Resick's clients, including this woman who asked that we not reveal her identity as she fears retaliation from drug cartels in her home country. She arrived here lawfully in 2024 with her 2 daughters through a Biden-era program called Parole that was shut down by the Trump administration last year.
The mother spoke out against some very public corruption in her hometown in Colombia, and death threats from the Gulf cartel there in Colombia made her decide to flee Colombia. She did things, quote unquote, the right way. We helped her file an asylum application.
She's currently awaiting a work permit and checks in at this local ICE facility once a month.
Given what we've seen from this administration, is she in any danger of being detained or deported?
Yeah, that's something that's going to be looming over her head, and if they wanted to, they could detain her.
The fear of detention never far from her 17-year-old daughter's mind.
Es una posibilidad.
¿Y cómo pueden vivir con ese miedo?
Creyendo en Dios, de que todo va a estar bien porque sabemos que somos buenas personas que estamos aquí por un mejor futuro.
For any of his clients to have a fighting chance and avoid deportation, Resick says sometimes the best legal move is a waiting game.
I think in a perfect world, yeah, we would try to postpone every case that's coming up before an immigration judge so that it goes before a judge that is not bound by the same priorities as this administration. That's not always possible.
In the meantime, the calls for help keep pouring into his office.
I am drowning in potential cases.
A legal game, at least for now, ending in a draw. Valerie Castro, NBC News, Grand Forks, North Dakota.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.